Hello everyone, it's Feanor here with my 1-bar Oakensoul tank build, and I'm going to make this fast and run through everything that you need to know in sections in order of importance, and then give some example footage at the end of the build in action. Disclaimer, am I claiming this to be the absolute best tank build ever? Hell no, it doesn't even use a shield, but it's very easy and proficient for a lot of content while still pumping out some half-decent damage. Self and group heals, and has some major solo ability in hard-hitting content like the Night Market or in the hard modes, which are soon to be released with update 50. Section 1 will have the skill lines, spells, and passives. The total amount needed in skill points to complete my setup is only 110. I am a Sorc, of course, so one line must be Sorc, one is Dragon Knight, and the last is Templar. For Sorcerer, we have Daedric Summoning, where we will take Bound Aegis to buff our block mitigation heavily during large blows. Optionally, you can also take Winged Twilight for your heals, or either of the other two minions for about 3000 more HP thanks to the Expert Summoner passive. But I opted out due to the trade-off of managing pet uptimes and reduction in group benefits. You take all the passives here. Next is Aedric Spear in the Templar slot, and we are taking Toppling Charge for mobility, interruptions, and your taunt ability. It also sets them off balance for your damage boost like my other build, but thanks to the DK skill line, you will see why that's not such a big deal now. You take every passive here, except Spear Wall. This one isn't necessary because you are using Oakensoul and get these buffs anyway. Finally, we have Earthen Heart for the DK skill line. Here, we are taking on the majority of our skills. Corrosive Armor or Magma Shell for the ultimate. Corrosive is a bit more damage in AoE on use, and Magma lasts longer, blocks more damage, and shields your allies on activation. Next, take Volcanic Ward for a massive shield on yourself or an ally. It also reduces the next hit by 10% and heals the target at the end for 4000 HP. Next is Igneous Weapons, which adds 1695 flame damage to your heavy attacks, which is great for this heavy attack build. It also provides your grouped teammates with a bonus of 20% weapon and spell damage. For you, this perk is less important because Oakensoul already provides it, and they do not stack. In this tree, we will also take all 4 passives fully. Next is Destruction Staff. We don't need any of the spells here, but we do need the passives Triforce, Elemental Force, and Ancient Knowledge. Next is Light Armor, take every passive. Medium, take every passive except for Improved Sneak. This is optional if you have extra points for perks towards stealing. Heavy, take every passive as well. Next is Soul Magic and Scribing. Build the spell Healing Burst. Select Soul Burst, Healing, Sage's Remedy, and Expedition. Optional passives are Soul Shatter and Soul Lock. Fighter's Guild passive. Banish the Wicked to generate 3 ultimate after killing any enemy. Undaunted passives. Undaunted Command to restore 4% of each resource every synergy activation. And Undaunted Metal for an awesome 6% health, magicka, and stamina buff. That's thanks to the fact that we're using every type of armor in our setup. Alliance War Assault passive. Continuous attack for your free gallop buff while mounted for 15% move speed. Also grab Combat Frenzy if planning to do any PvP with this, but this build is not optimized for PvP as a forewarning. Racials, obviously take all of your passives. I am a high elf on this character, and there are other options which might be minorly beneficial or less beneficial, but your race will not make or break this build, so don't stress this too much. Next is gear. We're going Helm of Glorgolok, the Destroyer's Visage, or any other heavy monster set helm, which has the 1 item set bonus of max HP. Health Enchant with the Infused trait. Heavy Pauldrons of the Sergeants with Enchant Magicka and Trait Divines. Light Gloves of the Twiceborn Star, Enchant Health, Trait Divines. Heavy Greaves of the Sergeant, Enchant Magicka, Trait Divines. Heavy Pellingar Warplates of the Sergeant, Enchant Magicka, and Trait Divines. Light Sash of the Twiceborn Star, Enchant Health, and Trait Divines. Medium Boots of the Twiceborn Star, Enchant Health, trait Divines. Necklace of the Twiceborn Star, enchant Magicka Recovery, and a trait Health. Ring of the Twiceborn Star, enchant Stamina Recovery, and trait Healthy. Oakensoul Ring, enchant Tri-Stat Recovery, and trait Healthy. Lightning Staff of the Sergeant, absorb Magicka Enchant, and trait Decisive. Thanks to the Twiceborn Star set, we will be grabbing 2 Mundus Stone buffs with double Divine's efficiency. I have gone with the Lord for an extra 3,437 health, and the Lady to constantly be at physical and spell resistance cap with the bonus of 4,239. For our consumables, I prefer Corrupting Bloody Mara to stack health and Magicka and get a nice bonus of health recovery to sustain more. And for potions, you can use your usual tri-stat potions or crown tri-stats if you have thousands backlog like I do. They serve as a nice reset in a pinch. To craft one, you can use Lady's Smock, Columbine, and Mountain Flower for a decent tri-stat, or Essence of Health with extra health regen and increased healing shield strength if you aren't as concerned about the stamina and Magicka recovery. And the way that you'd craft that is Butterfly Wing, Powdered Mother of Pearl, and Luminous Rustla. For champion points, starting in the green craft tree, the only important selections on a combat or getting to combat level are for movement: Steed's Blessing and Gifted Rider. In the blue warfare champion points tree, I have selected Exploiter, Weapons Expert, Deadly Aim, and Master at Arms as the active champion bar perks. And this is to still deal half decent damage, but if you purely want to be a tank, you can instead choose Ironclad, Unassailable, Duelist rebuff, and Reinforced. There are also various passives you can pick up if you have the extra CPs laying around to grab them, and I'll mouse around to show you them quickly. In the red fitness champion points tree, we have Ward Master, Bracing Anchor, Rejuvenation, and Boundless Vitality. Importantly, we do not take Fortified here. This would be a waste due to already hitting our defensive caps with our gear. Other passives to select will also be moused over here for you to see. And guys, that'll do it. The only thing left to do is give you some examples of the types of beatings this bad boy can endure. And also the DPS parse for this landed around the 42,000 to 48,000 range on the trial dummy. You can increase this a bit by using the offensive ultimate transformation, or a pet instead of the burst heal, or putting Nirnhoned or precise on the staff instead of decisive, different Mundus buffs, etc. But each choice will be a trade-off with tankiness, so play around with it and see what you want or need for your specific playstyle and needs. Like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you have fun with this build like I do. I have also added a text version of this guide for the pertinent details in the description, in case that is easier for some viewers to review that way. Good luck and have fun out there. Okay, first I have a clip of me soloing a Brazen boss in the night market and the trash packs. What I want everyone to keep in mind here is that I'm not displaying that this build should be used to solo everything and it's super efficient or anything. I'm just showing what its capabilities are. So if you really want to, you can push this build to some pretty impressive limits for a 1-bar Oakensoul build. There are going to be other ones out there if you want to do 2-bar setups and go a more tank meta pathway that can handle this type of content even better. But it is what it is, and this is the option on the table for you guys from this video. My main point is that you should be using this in groups. If I can do this in solo play, then it's kind of the ultimate display that this definitely works for this content in groups, right? I also used this in my previous video, tanking all the skirmishes and whatnot, so you can see that as well. And it's something you can adapt to. I've been adapting to it. It's something I only recently made and did. So, yeah, just wanted to make that clear. You can use this to solo some content. It will take longer, but you're extremely tanky. The damage isn't terrible. Here I also, for this particular fight, I used the buff because it's pretty easy to grab from the Daring Race, where you go through the door and just crawl underneath the electricity and whatnot. Helped speed along the DPS of the fight. I don't have that in the other fights, like when I fight a veteran boss in the upcoming clip and whatnot. Just wanted to put that out there just so there's no confusion about the electrical guy that keeps spawning during this fight. Okay, enjoy. Okay, and for this one, I'm soloing the first boss and the trash packs of the Veteran Castle Thorn dungeon. Another important detail here is, I know most of this is sped up because the fights are so long, Towards the end of this clip, if you want to see me finish the fight in normal time, that is how this fight ends. So you can either wait to that or skip forward to it. You'll be able to see me activate things and dodge out of the way and do quick blocks and whatnot in real time for the last, I think it's like a minute or so. Here's a clip of me soloing more Night Market trash packs for favorite orbs. And this is in the Skittering Precinct. But you can do this in any of the zones with this build. And for the final clip of this video, I couldn't get myself soloing a dragon because too many people are farming them right now. But you see I'm tanking it for the majority of the time. You see the damage is decent. And had there not been other people there, I would have successfully killed this dragon, I promise you. Also in this beginning part, you actually get to see a good example of what happens when you don't use your Aegis at the right time to buff your block, or block in general. If you don't cast your shield at the right moments and dodge. I start getting pummeled in the beginning, and then you see that kind of goes away throughout the rest of the fight because I I clock in and like actually start putting in effort. So there is levels to how you would perform with any tank build or build in general. So this is actually a really good thing for anyone who's going to use this build to watch and see what the difference is between kind of phoning it in and then actually doing the build correctly and reacting to the mechanics.